Hello, y'all. Today is Sunday, April 16th, 2023 at 11:46 a.m. So, one of these days, I have to get all this cut off and start back all over again because my hair is just atrocious especially in the back, you know, and so I have to, but I want to let it grow and let it grow natural and let it grow long, you know. So, well, I had no choice but to swim in the chlorinated pools because of being homeless and everything, you know. Because, I had that incident that happened more than once where if I go to a pool facility just to shower and they know I'm homeless, then they would falsely accuse me of being a pedo, you know, which is not true. But so they would force me. I mean, what's the difference? Um, Whether I swim or not. So they treated me like certain prejudice and discrimination and all that. So I have to get all this cut off. It's ruined. Very ruined. And I'm gonna try to not swim in chlorinated pools anymore. Hope to never be homeless again or on the streets again, because according to the homeless shelter system, um, like me staying at this place, I wouldn't be considered like homeless. It's like I would be considered like, if this is a month-to-month place, so if you try to get a driver's license, it'll be mighty hard for you to get it. Because it's like month to month is still not, if you don't have a 1 year lease or own a house or have a mortgage or whatever, if you don't have a 1 year lease or have a mortgage, then you're considered too homeless. But if you try to get homeless services, then you're not homeless enough. Like in the case of that person, I think they said her name was Aaliyah. And I don't remember the name of that place that they it was like a homeless outreach, but how screwed up they are. They narcissistically demanded that you have mental health services and you have to be literally out cold on the streets like I have been. But for the one night you stay in a hotel, or if you stay in an extended stay for a week, or if you stay in a hotel for one night, they refuse you service. And I'm like, well, what if I'm like, but I'm about to be back on the streets tomorrow. Oh, it doesn't matter because you're not on the streets today. You're in a hotel room. So it's confusing. Excuse me. So, but yeah, here I was considered like, and I mean, oh, it was a hard struggle. Like when I got to Cincinnati and even in Pensacola, it was a breeze to get my driver's license switched over. But it was a breeze to get my driver's license switched over. But here, oh, I almost didn't get it, but I ended up getting it though, So it took a lot of convincing to tell them that, I do plan to stay here, you know, as long as possible. Because they're like, no, because if you're in a month-to-month place, you can easily up and leave and go somewhere else. But so, you know, as I said, the black lady was trying to give me a hard time. My own race of people, my own kind. But there was the two Mexican ladies that pulled strings to get me, help with getting my license switched over, and so that I could be eligible for job opportunities and everything else. But some people encourage you to stay on the run, being targeted, and others hold up. So being targeted, sometimes they encourage you to be on the run and stay on the run. And others say, well, it's pointless, to keep on staying on the run, because if you're on the run, then, the targeting follows you no matter what city, state, country, or whatever that the targeting follows you no matter wherever you go in the world. Whoa, my phone dropped. And other people say, don't be on the run so much, or don't move around so much, because then that makes you look like a wanted fugitive. Yeah, I had some fake TI perks try to talk about some that makes you look like a wanted fugitive. So so I mean, I had so I as I said, I do. They trying to make it as unpleasant as possible to live here. They're trying to make it as unpleasant as possible for me to live here. But I'm just documenting and showing and telling y'all, and it's no support to tell me to shut up and ignore, or just ignore them. That's not supportive. I need comfort. So let me vent. Let me vent my frustrations, and let other professed target individuals, let them vent their frustrations too. So so then it's like, and a lot of times I'll be forgetting my train of thought. A lot of times. So y'all want some, she got these long ass videos and can't even stay on topic. But sometimes I lose my train of thought and forget. So and I guess y'all, that's another way that y'all try to falsely accuse me of being illogical, incoherent, irrational, and nonsensical, and falsely accuse me of being schizophrenic, or double-minded, or whatever. So so it's like, so it's like so it's like they're trying to make it as unpleasant as possible for me to stay here. But I said that, yesterday afternoon, I was like, oh, what a relief that I'm sleepy and tired. And, I don't have to worry about, being told, you can't sleep here, or you can't sleep there, or getting banned from restaurants or library. Well, not really the library, because in Pensacola at the libraries, they never really told me anything for dozing off and falling asleep. But in New Orleans, my hometown, they had zero tolerance for you to doze off. Even when I had housing, I had the Section 8 housing. I wasn't homeless on the streets yet, but I had the Section 8 housing in my hometown, New Orleans, and I was severely sleep deprived. And I was severely sleep deprived, and the abusive, narcissistic white man, got aggressive, abusive, and vicious towards me for dozing off and falling asleep. And I try to tell him, about my sleep deprivation. And it's like, so what? If you feel that sick, go to the hospital. They have Tulane Hospital right around the corner. He was very nasty and rude. So, a lot of people, they don't even need to be working at libraries, because they have abusive, narcissistic, rude librarians that act like they hate the world. I mean, even in Denton, Texas, I had to deal with rude, racist, abusive, narcissistic librarians. So, I was even heavily gang stalked in Denton, Texas, and didn't realize what the fuck was going on. I don't think I heard the term gang stalking until after I left Denton, Texas, and after I was living in Los Angeles. The earliest I think I remember hearing about the term gang stalking and targeted individuals, definitely in 2012, but possibly in 2011, later 2011. Because I on my Twitter timeline in 2011, I had on my Twitter timeline in 2011, I had a lot of people on my timeline, but I didn't realize so many of those motherfuckers were New Agers. They claimed to be targeted individuals and suffering gang stalking and spreading love and light and being positivity, but they all treated me like how the TI community treat me today. And a lot of them were falsely calling themselves Starseed, Indigo Child, walk-ins, light workers. That's all satanic New Age. And I briefly fell in that trap for a very quick minute, but I snapped out of it. I have a lot of the symptoms and traits of this Indigo Child thing, but I didn't realize that, the Indigo Child, Starseed, that they're New Age deceivers. So I just walk away from the New Age and try to stick with the real truth, because as I said, like in my journey of research, I kept on running into New Age deception mixed with real truth. Like they might tell you the truth about Big Pharma and GMOs or whatever, but on a spiritual aspect, they'll spew out New Age and denounce the Bible, and then falsely say that the Bible is occultic in New Age. And I'm like, no, that's not true. So the enemy, will cause so much massive deception and confusion. And it took a few years, but I'll say that after the biological mom Frances died and the biological dad Arthur, it was like shortly, it was right around so-called Christmas 2013 was when, I got the final confirmation of the truth and the King James Version of the Holy Bible. being the truth. And that's when I started reading out of that Bible. Because if I would read out a contemporary English version or the NIV Bible or the New King James Version or whatever other Bible, New Living Translation, then I would get confused. And I used to find it boring. So I mean, but you want to know something was funny? The fake IDMR cult, they used to read out of King James Version of the Bible. And I heard that the Freemasons have the King James Version of the Bible in each lodge. But I heard that that's not their final authority, and that they use it as a way to mock the Christians with their rituals and everything. So the fake IDMR cult didn't use the King James Version of the Bible as their final authority. Their final authority was the cult leaders' false teachings, demonic messages. And so the fake IDMR cult, they used to also read out of this fake holy name version, this holy name Bible or whatever, which like sacred name movement cult. And they used the names Yahweh and Elohim, Yahshua, whatever. And it was revised by A.B. Trainer. And the fake IDMR cult, I think they also were dispensationalists also. They got a lot of their teachings from like after I left, my twin sister told me that the cult was reading out of the Schofield Bible. That the fake IDMR cult, that they did away with the King James Version and did away with the Holy Name Version, and that they read out the Schofield Bible. And nowadays, these modern churches, they read like out of every Bible but the King James, every revision or version except the King James. And then you be sitting in church and they're like, okay, we're going to read Colossians, I don't know. No, for example, we're going to read Titus 3 and 5, and we're going to be reading out of the Revised Standard Version. Or, let's look in the contemporary English version for Isaiah 53 and 5. Or something like that. And you'd be like, what? You'd be confused. And then you compare different versions of Bible side by side, and some of them say something totally different. Or, we're going to read, 1 Corinthians 8 and 6. And we're going to read it out of the NIV. And then they want to be like, you want some real, if you tell them about the Illuminati and the New World Order, you want some real research, you get in that Bible. And then they point to an NIV. So some people say the NIV is one of the worst ones. So throughout my research, I heard that they said that in the book of Revelations, if you add or take away from God's word, you'll definitely have your part in the lake of fire. So and so they have people who are adding and taking away, and they said for the English speakers that if you speak English, that the King James Version is the closest to the truth of the translations from, Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. Some people say that Jesus spoke Aramaic. So I heard that, they said the Sacred Name movement and the Israelites and all that they are a cult, and the Messianic Jew or whatever is a cult too. So but one thing about the independent fundamental Baptists that you know it's like they try to smear campaign that people who stick with the King James version. And they had a lot of black people in Los Angeles say, stick with the King James version. Or they'd be like, oh, stick with the King James version because that's the version that black people use. Don't use them white folks. I'm just quoting what they say. What they told me. Don't use them white folks. You stick with the King James version. And I so they were saying, yeah, whatever. So that's what they were telling me. So it's like, but they have some people say that independent fundamental Baptist is a cult too. Anything that strays away or is contrary to the Bible, people call it a cult. So then if they might say, well, they'll try to be like, well, you're part of the King James Version onlyism cult, and what you're doing is bibliolatry. You're not worshiping God, you're worshiping the Bible. Well, the Bible is the word of God, duh. The real Bible. But y'all just want to manipulate people against the truth. It's like, so it's people who are narcissistic personalities are these fake leaders, these fake Freemason leaders in your fake churches that you just went to today or that you're probably attending right now. What time is it? Yeah, it's 12:09 p.m. Central Standard Time. And many people had just either walked out of church or about to go to church or going to go to 6 o'clock evening service this afternoon. Don't you go to that freaking fake ass church. That's the devil's church. 501c3 Masonic satanic sellout churches that send you straight to hell. And so many other things you could have been doing productive with your life, and you're sitting in these fake ass dead church, spiritually dead churches, and the church pastor don't even care about your eternal destination. They don't. They only care about themselves. And why don't people go after them? And no, people always got these justifications. The fake ass flying monkey cult followers. The fake flying monkey cult followers. Oh, wow. And they're vibrating my body as I'm talking. The fake flying monkey cult followers, they worship the pastor instead of the real God. Because the pastor himself narcissistically set himself up as God and to be up the highest respect. The pastor sitting there manipulating and deceiving people without shame and can sleep well at night, bullying their congregation out of money. And so there's so much witchcraft rampant in the church, especially from the freaking women. What they say, the Jezebel spirit, but they got men too, because the fake pastor will be a warlock and manipulate and destroy your household. So a lot of these churches, they going along with the satanic Luciferian New World Order agenda and straying away from the real Bible, the real truth. And then even churches will kick you out and ban you for getting up on stage and telling a real truth. But it's nothing but frauds, fakes, and liars in these American churches nowadays. And then you always hear about, the messy church member who like to, meddle in other people's families, making up lies and starting mess, troublemakers in the church, abusive, narcissistic troublemakers in the church. And then when you call them out, they'll try to lie on you and say that you're slandering God's people. No, we're telling the truth about your ass. We're telling the truth about you, but once you get outed as a crooked, dirty person, then, once you get outed as a crooked, dirty person, then you want to cover up and lie and say that the truth teller is the one who's causing division and slandering God's people, or that you're a stain or a nuisance to the body of Christ. Y'all actually the body of Satan and don't even realize it, dummy. How the hell are you going to defend and agree with Satanists, Freemasons, and all that and claim you're a child of God? You're playing both sides. And you'll be the first to call somebody a hypocrite. So then it's like if you catch them doing all this dirt and expose their dirty ways, they'll try to say that you're a nuisance to the body of Christ, and that they'll say, touch not God's anointed, and and I think they said something about, they'll say something about thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn or something like that. They'll use scriptures like that, to manipulate, like they twist and manipulate the Bible, to get over on you and to smear and destroy you as the bad person. Like when I was, Miss Lisa Ruby couldn't brainwash me. So she tried to tell me one time, like when I was at her house and me and her were arguing, she tried to say something about, oh, I bet Jesus would upset you or something like that. Or I bet you would hate Jesus or something. And I'm like, well, you would hate him more than I freaking love him. So what you mean that, I tried my best to love him, But you act like as if your spiritual control and abuse is like you aim for me to turn away from Jesus. I mean, so, she would throw stones at Jesus herself. I mean, you're not Jesus, you're not God. So this is an abusive, narcissistic, fake Christian woman, No, she said something about, I bet Jesus would offend you. And she was very coercive and abusive and manipulative, and then she was act like a perp and do stuff and gaslight the shit out of me, do stuff on purpose just to make me mad, and then brag about irritating, quote unquote, my demons. Now, like, what kind of spiritual deliverance is this when, basically you sent me all the way, you manipulated me to break my lease for me to come all the way, and it fucked up my credit. And manipulated me to break my lease to come all the way down there just so you could spiritually abuse me and then leave me homeless on the streets with no money. Waited till I was fucking broke and spent my last $80 to travel. Now you're living out in the country when you spend $80 to take a cab out into the city. That is fucking country. That is like the real country. You spend $80 or $90 for one-way cab ride. And what kind of spiritual biblical deliverance is it for you to tell me to write my whole life story, and then you read about it, and then you point out and figure out what my weaknesses are and what you can use to manipulate and trigger me. And after her manipulation and abuse and stuff, that's how I ended up gaining like 320 pounds. And that's the biggest and fattest I ever been on in my life, and I wasn't even on psych medications. So, she was an abusive, narcissistic, fake truther and a fake T.I. perp. And she was one of the popular fake truthers as well, because she tried to get up there by Jeff Rentz and Henry McCow and all them. And then, so, and Miss Lisa and her husband, they have a Down syndrome daughter that they will abuse. That they will abuse and manipulate. So, so it's like, it's been a rough road. Dealing with them. It took me years to recover. So, you got to watch out for these abusive, narcissistic, exploitative, fake truthers who pretend that they're against the agendas. It's like you're better off to stay by yourself and can't trust no fucking body. And the main people telling you can't trust nobody, they're the dirtiest people. And they even screw you over the worst. They screw you over so bad. Telling you can't trust nobody. So, So my phone is alerting me that it's about to rain. So I guess they're saying it's supposed to be a high up to 76 today and low 53. Is that like a slight cold front or something? Well, yesterday it was so hot. They said it was. I didn't even set foot outside yesterday. But they said it was so hot outside. They said it was so hot outside that it got up to 94 degrees last night. I'm sorry, what did I say? I meant to say yesterday during the day it got up to 94 degrees. So I don't know, it's like when you on your search for truth, you run from one bit of deception, one version of deception, and then you try to think that, well, if this is deceptive, then the opposite must be true. Then you try to run to the opposite and realize that's still a deception. Then you run to another avenue and feel like that's deception too. So so that like all the churches are under strong delusion. So I heard that um you know the people who published the NIV or whatever, that um that they were forced to be deaf and mute or something like that. And so I heard about what happened, that satanic ritual mocking God in Brazil. What happened. So I don't know, cause see, a lot of stuff going on here in America. There's like some people might say that certain stuff that's going on in America is basically God trying to wake us up. And it's like you be in church and Christians don't like you. So-called Christians don't like you. And sometimes imagine being in church and somebody look at you and don't like you for no reason. And you be brand new and it's your first day there. And people in church giving you mean, dirty looks. Like they think they're better and they're jealous at the same time. And then be the first to talk about God's love, grace, and mercy when they called up on a stage or on a podium. And you'd be so confused. Or if they have fake church pastors who they manipulate and choose favoritism of the members and everything. And you wonder how the top fake members, they don't have to tithe, but they make you tithe. They force and bully you to tithe money. I mean, all those people who gave all that money to the church and still went to hell. Paying money doesn't free you from your sins. I mean, you might give money to your church one Sunday, and then 3 days later, you masturbating your ass off. So, and then you go back the next Sunday and give them more money. So, or you might go and be a druggie or something. And then the church ain't helping you get sober or clean. But they just taking your money and lying to you. Taking your money and lying to you. And, people talk about, spiritual pimps. Like these church pastors are spiritual pimps. I'm glad I ain't sitting in church today. They got like 3 or 4 churches on just about every corner in this small, tiny little town. And can't none of them help you. I mean, all these churches and none of them can help the poor. All they would do is sit there and feed you a 3-month-old expired bread, a can of tomato sauce, and some cooking oil, and then tell you to expired moldy bread and a canister of tomato sauce and cooking oil, and tell you to be thankful and grateful to God, while they go and eat their lobster steaks and shrimp and whatever, and linguine and fettuccine and turtle cheesecake and raspberry ice cream, and just living it up while you suffering your ass off. And then they be like, well, you're suffering because you ain't been serving God. Well, giving you money is not serving God. When you got your freaking Teslas and jets and your vacations to Jamaica and the Bahamas and Aruba and Paris, France, Montpellier, France, Spain, Portugal, traveling the fucking world, just living it up. While we're struggling and, one paycheck away from homelessness, and you just freaking living it up. A lot of these fake church pastors who falsely proclaim the name of Jesus Christ, they're going along with the satanic agendas, and they're 501c3 puppets, and they're not going to tell you the truth. And if they do tell you the truth, they lose their 501c3, and then they have to forced to pay all that back, and their material possessions is too great, and they ain't risking to lose everything, but they'll get up on stage and tell you how you should give up everything, and they hypocritically get up on stage and tell you how you should forsake all to follow Jesus, but they not following their own advice though. Yeah, they know how to talk that talk, but they ain't following their own advice. Like, if you living in a homeless shelter, and you so happen to go to church, and you struggling to feed your kids, and you're sitting there giving money to a man who has a smack brand new pretty Jeep Wrangler, Jeep Renegade, what's that? No. Is it the Wagoneer? The Jeep Wagoneer, that's the name of it. The Jeep that they brought back. If they got their Porsches, Teslas, Jeeps, Volvo, Jaguar, whatever. And so they're living nice. But you poor and struggling and handing over every damn thing. And they don't need your fucking money. They're already getting it. But they're still taking from their congregation, and they putting witchcraft spells on you and everything. Why, if you go to these fake churches and the pastor will say something, then next thing you know somebody faint. That's doggone witchcraft. And then they don't even get the doggone ambulance when you faint or pass out either. Making people faint in church. That ain't, come on, man. And, the church is the devil. Like, imagine, the church is the devil's playground. The church is the devil's playground. Did y'all know that? That's irony, right? So I had to learn the truth to just stick with the King James version of the Bible. And people even try to say that that's even kind of messed up with the Mandela effect and everything. And I'm like, wow, it makes you feel all kinds of discouraged. But so far, I'll just stick with the King James version of the Bible and try to better myself, Because I heard that it wasn't the wolf shall lay down by the lamb, but I heard it's the lion. The lion shall lay down by the lamb, or something like that. I don't remember word for word, but I heard about there being a spiritual, like in the book of, if it wasn't the book of Joel, I don't remember, where the Bible prophesies somewhere in the Old Testament about how there will be like a spiritual famine of the Word of God. And look, prayer was taken out of the schools in the 1960s. And I heard that they stopped spanking bad children. And look what generation we have today. We got, you know, people 14 years old that try to order me around and tell me what to do and treat me like they're more mature. They think they're more mature with more common sense than I have. And children screwing over and even outright murdering adults. You got kids who murder their moms nowadays. They sell their soul to the devil and hate their mom and murder their mom. And proud. They don't even feel any remorse. You killed the woman who gave birth to you. As I said, I never would have imagined myself murdering my biological mom, Frances, even though the foster family brainwashed us to hate her. The foster mother brainwashed me to hate the biological mother. But I got a certain age and I woke up to the truth and I realized, wow, I treated my biological mom really bad, but she treated me bad too. But, I wish I would have had a better relationship with her. But the biological mom was abusive and oppressive herself as well, So, but the biological family is so dysfunctional and corrupt, and I'm not sure if I believe in that generational curse thing, but my biological mom's sister, half sister, drunk lady Yvonne, they have the same mom but different dads. But Yvonne was trying to tell me that basically it's multi-generational voodoo witchcraft in the family. So yeah, it was like, well, I was shocked to hear that, But I don't willfully or knowingly practice any of that stuff. I'm always like kept in the dark. So um I mean, but anyway, I wonder how did I get all on this topic, on this tangent or whatever. But I'm glad to not be sitting in church right now. And I'm glad to not be sitting in the fake IDMR called Bible class sessions, because it's 12:34. And the fake IDMR cult, they will be out of their class sessions by 1 o'clock, like 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on whatever your local time is every Sunday. And they got the fake Sunday school earlier, or sometimes they'll even have it on Saturday. Or they got the fake auxiliary class on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Monday, Tuesday, or Thursday, or whatever. And they got the fake class sessions like Monday and Thursday, or Wednesday and Friday. They make you go 3 times a week. And then they got these fake auxiliary class, a fake Sunday school. Just, yeah, I'm glad that I just studied the doggone Bible at home by myself. And try to let the Holy Spirit guide me. And I feel bad because I know it's been a while since I read the Bible. Especially since being here, I haven't listened to or read it yet. But I read a few scriptures here and there. But, I feel terrible that I think I saw that the last time I listened to the Bible or whatever was March 26th or something like that. So I need to really get back on it. I think I prayed a few times here, but I myself have, slacked off on personal Bible study and time with God and everything. And a lot of times homelessness will do that to you, keeping you distracted, with the targeting or the gang stalking. Like, as I said, for the past few nights, I've been having the desire to, try to get time to pray and read the Bible. And every time I try, that's when they come and just disrupt me with the loud bass music, like I showed y'all the past few nights. So so but I'm far from perfect. I'm far from perfect. I got a lot of straightening up to do myself. I got a lot. I mean, and if I die at this second, my destination is hell, not heaven. But I wish I would like to, be righteous enough to go to heaven. I need some straightening up to do. And before Lisa Ruby and Tracy Broadhurst did that spiritual abuse on me, before then I was very up on reading the Bible, several chapters of the Bible a day, praying 3 or 4 times a day. And dealing with them, I backslid so hard. And they just had me very discouraged. And also a lot of other experiences. So if somebody shame you or make you feel bad, or if they try to make you feel like a not good enough Christian or an unworthy Christian, you're dealing with a religious narc or a fake Christian narc. And you can't even go on any so-called Christian message board, because if you say any truth, they'll ban you from their online Christian forum. They will ban you and say that you're a troublemaker that's causing division when you're actually telling the truth. So they want to be brainwashed with deceived with lies. And it's a lot of fake Christian narcs running these forums like TalkJesus.com and ChristianForums.net, and they got these cult-like fake strict rules. But like, damn, you might as well just not even join or say nothing, where the littlest thing you say that can get you banned. If they claim they're here to help, but then they damage you even worse. So, I know I'm an extremely weak Christian, but I mean, I know they said that Christians should congregate together, and they have the Bible scripture that said, where there are 2 or 3 gathered in my name, there am I in the midst. And so they said also to forsake not assembling. But, the churches twist and manipulate that so that they can brainwash you, take your soul. And they exploit and manipulate that so that they can brainwash and take your soul to hell. So, and I mean, I feel bad even accepting services from a church where the woman is the fake pastor. That's narcissistic. But they got narcissistic men who are fake pastors also. And I used to wonder, I mean, they abusive, satanic sellout, Masonic sellout, narcissistic, homos that take it upon themselves, self-appointed fake pastor, and people say don't even bother going to theology school, because theology school is not but lies too. So they sit there and yell at you. I mean, they like, you always see this fake church pastor who yell at people to keep people frightened and under control. Like, if they start off in a sermon talking nice and normal, and then go from, talking nice, calm, and like a little baby and gentle or whatever. And then before you know it, they're yelling for a whole 45 minutes. Angry and yelling for a whole 45 minutes. And you can tell they're just faking and putting on an act. So like, they had this man from this church. Now I used to watch them on YouTube, and they had their own website called The Gospel of Christ. And his name was Kevin Pendergrass or something like that. He's a religious narcissist and fake pastor from Tennessee. Yeah, I fucking said it. And then the females, I tried to get some information, and this female secretary was rude and hung up in my face. So like church secretary being rude and hang up in your face. We got a lot of the rudest people be in church, y'all. The nastiest, dirtiest, vile people be in church. Gang stalking in church. I had it happen. That they bullied me and gang stalked me out of church at Olive Baptist Church in Pensacola. And even that Smyrna Baptist Church, they were a little weird too. In Pensacola. A lot of bad church experiences. So much I just stay away. So, but the other man, I don't remember his name. But I prefer the other pastor from that Gospel of Christ. He had dark hair and kind of tan skin. And I don't remember his name. I just remember he was from McMinnville, Tennessee. I used to like to listen to him more because he was more calm and seemed like he really cared. But that Kevin Pendergrass person, he was a fucking religious narc. A fake Christian narc. Always, angry and throwing fake tantrums behind the pulpit just to manipulate and scare people. A lot in the fake IDMR cult, they would copy off of church people and do the same thing. And they call it a Bible class lecture. The fake IDMR cult, they have people they have the fake charts hanging down with these silly. So now the fake foster mom Ann's sister Mickey wouldn't have said that to Ann's face, but Mickey said it to us, but Mickey's part of the fake Seventh-day Adventist cult. So Mickey tried to talk about the fake IDMR cult, talking about them weird posters and shit. You go to church and you cuss like a sailor just like anybody else. But yeah, Mickey wouldn't have told her own sister that to her face. Yeah, them weird posters and shit. Yeah, them weird posters and shit with the fake IDMR cult and their fake charts or whatever of fake fraudster Henry Clifford Kinley's fake divine vision and revelation. Every fake IDMR cult, they all have these fake charts hanging off the walls. And so, they would get like a stick or a pointer, how they used to teach. And they would be like angrily bamming the stick against the charts and beating and banging on the walls, hollering and yelling and pretending to be fake passionate in the fake IDMR cult or whatever. And so they all got elitist mentality in the fake IDMR cult. And it's like only a small amount, a few people got some humility. And they're nice. And never bullied or picked on me, really. But, every Sunday or every Wednesday, Friday, in the fake IDMR cult, I had to hear nothing but hollering and yelling. And then fake Cheryl, I'm going to say it, fake Cheryl, Sheryl, Cheryl Sonia, Sonia, fake Cheryl Sonye from the fake IDMR cult of the New Orleans West branch throughout those so many years back then. Like the so-called dean of the certain branches, like she was like a fake, the equivalent of the fake pastor. And she'd been the dean for I don't know how many years of the fake West Bank. But after Hurricane Katrina happened, I don't know. I think I heard something about she wasn't the dean anymore. I don't know what they did with the New Orleans West Bank branch, but I remember through some deep research back then, they said that Aaron Bryant from the cult, he was the dean of the fake New Orleans East Bank branch of the fake cult, the fake IDMR cult, and the East Bank branch. Aaron Bryant, I heard that Aaron Bryant was a high-level Freemason as well. You know, I don't know if Cheryl Sonye was Order of the Eastern Star, but she had to have been to have that position. She had to have been doing the satanic rituals to have, I mean, come on now. And the fake foster mom, Ann, Adrian Felder. You know, she got Masonic connections and like got a Masonic satanic fucking family. Collins. She related to Collins. They said all Collins is related and of Illuminati royalty bloodline. And that's what they set us up in foster care with. That's what they set us up in foster care with, you know? So, but, you know, multiple people gave me ideas. You know, they were telling me that my last name, Grand Prix, is the last name of French royalty. So, and my family got so many family secrets, and that's, you know, I'm the black sheep of the family. They won't tell me no family secrets. So, you know, on both sides of the family, mother and father, they keep family secrets away from me and keep me isolated, and nobody want to be bothered with or associate with me, you know. So anyway, well, I did not, like, a lot of times my videos, I just go off into talking, but I don't even really pre-plan, and a lot of the times I really don't pre-plan in advance to talk about, you know, a lot of things I be talking about. Like, I didn't get on camera. Like, I started the video this morning not knowing what I was going to talk about. I guess, felt like running my mouth. But I feel like it's a daily routine for me to just do videos, you know, talking, you know. So, as I said, I know a lot of people gonna be mad. They be mad at me like I'm the worst person in the world. But yeah, abusive, narcissistic gang stalkers. They try to get your videos erased. They erase evidence, and then try to make it like you're crazy. And they get in your face and say, "You have no evidence." Of course, motherfucker, because you robbed me of this evidence and you erased it and took it away. Yeah, I had the freaking evidence, but now you took away my doggone evidence of your abuse or whatever you did towards me. So, yeah, like what that tranny did, you know, got my video evidence wrongfully erased. You know, and, you know, try to get my blog shut down and everything else. Like, if you weren't guilty, the video was still, if you were innocent in the video, I mean, if you weren't guilty, the video would still be up. I mean, you'll like, I mean, and he probably climbed the ranks of the top of all the way to the top in the ranks and levels of Satanism. And it's freaking sad because, as I said, you look like you not even 25 years old. You look like you about 22. Don't tell me you're 40. Don't tell me you're 40 years old. So, but I'm gonna keep on speaking out against the devil worshiping tranny and anybody else who hurts and abuses me. I'm gonna keep speaking out. And everybody trying to silence me at every turn, at every opportunity. So I mean, even fake TI, abusive, narcissistic, fake TI perps, I'm gonna keep speaking out against y'all too. It's ridiculous that you're another human being and think that you have the authority to silence another human being. But y'all can spread all the lies and false assumptions all day long, but somebody speak the truth, you want to shut it up. And then make them learn their lesson from spreading any truth. And guess what? They got many former professed Christians who are becoming devil worshippers these days. Watch out. And it's like they were a former hardcore Christian. What you want to say, radical Christian. And so many people are turning so hard to the devil worshiping. It's sad. It's really sad. So, they turn so hard to it's like they worship the devil harder, embrace and glorify and worship the devil harder than they did when they were call themselves serving Jesus Christ. But I don't know about the gang stalkers, but I hear about celebrities all the time. What they said, that the devil comes to collect. I heard about what's going on with Jamie Foxx. He spoke out against Diddy. And Jamie, well, his real name was like Eric Marlon Bishop. And I don't know if it was Eric Marlon Bishop Jr. or just simply Eric Marlon Bishop. But Jamie Foxx, I heard that by him, being in the Hollywood scene, he was forced to change his name to Jamie Foxx and make it a unisex name, because I heard if he uses, I don't understand that because they got other male comedians or whatever. But, he was forced to change his name to unisex. And, remember that character, Wanda? My twin sister used to always love to, and still to this day, love to impersonate Wanda. From In Living Color. Yeah, no. That wasn't In Living Color. That was that the Martin Lawrence? I don't remember what show Wanda was on. I think it was Martin Lawrence show. Martin. Yeah, I think he was on the Martin Lawrence show. Look at me. I don't even remember. Correct me in the comments if you see this. But yeah, I think he was in the whatever character that Wanda was in. So people say, well, don't pray for Jamie Foxx. He's not one of our kind. He likes Becky's, or he likes white women. Oh, he's getting whatever he deserved because he don't like black women. Or he don't serve our God. He don't serve the Most High. And stuff like that. I'm like, damn. He might have humbled himself and had a change of heart. So Jamie Foxx, I heard that he been hospitalized, and they say he had a stroke, but he had the juice. He had that juice. So he drank the new age Kool-Aid, if you get what I mean, you know. So you know, I can't help but to not feel bad. I actually feel bad for him. He never did me nothing. I never went in my life, you know, hating Jamie Foxx, but I was never really a die-hard fan of him either, you know. But I didn't know he was from Texas, and I used to love a lot of his music from 2006 and 2007. I think 2008. I used to love his songs, you know, but I can't listen to his music no more, you know. But well, I like his. I used to like his music better than his, you know, movies and shows or whatever. But you know, but so so yeah, I actually feel bad for him. But yeah, I heard anybody who go up against Diddy, you know, they'll be nearly killed. But I even heard something about Usher wanting to come out with a book or, you know, speaking against Diddy also. But I heard Usher used to violate Justin Bieber. So it's like everybody violating everybody in the Hollywood industry, you know. So I heard everybody used to be weak over Usher, but I never really had a crush on Usher. I never sexually wanted Usher, but I like some of his songs. I used to like some of his songs, but you know, I was never really too crazy over Usher. But throughout the years, I used to hear people say Usher was stuck up, so that made me kind of not like him. But I think Usher and Orlando Brown look kind of they look related to me. But I know they're not related, but I'm saying they look kind of related. But I'm wondering how Orlando Brown is doing nowadays, because ever since, you know, the him being wrongfully arrested or whatever, I don't know if they sent him to the mental institution or something. Um, I haven't heard from Orlando Brown. You know, people got dig up these past interviews, but I wonder how. I hope he's all right. You know, but you know, Orlando Brown was speaking a lot of truth, but some people say he was controlled opposition with panda eyes, and they said that he was, you know, that they sent him to be back re MK Ultra. So when you hear about celebrity like what happened with Jamie Foxx, I heard that they probably gonna kill him and clone him, or if he already been cloned, or if they're gonna re MK Ultra him. They're gonna re MK Ultra Jamie, or if they already doing it, like they're gonna re MK Ultra him, you know, again. So if they can't reprogram him, then they'll kill him off. So you know, I mean, so I heard that anybody could come to Christ, but they'll have some people will say that you know, just lead them to the devil and let them go to hell. But like Second Peter 3:9, you know, I need to come to repentance myself. You know, I ain't perfect, but the abusive, narcissistic online gang stalkers, they will look for any nook and cranny to falsely accuse me of being a spiritual narcissist and a religious hypocrite. You're mad because I left a fucking cult and you're still in a cult. Your gang stalking is a cult. It's a murder cult. A human trafficking and murder cult. So before my time runs out, I'm gonna let y'all know. I still haven't um, released or published my latest short story, and I plan to work on some more today. And this morning I did not eat breakfast, but I ate like a later lunch. My right hand is trying to shake. I think they hit me with directed energy weapons and causing my hand to shake. My right hand. The moment I mentioned about short stories, now they're making my hand shake. They're making my hand feel weak and shake like as if I have Parkinson's disease or something. I know I don't have no Parkinson's, but they're making my hand shake like as if I had Parkinson's. So I wrote another one of the Timberwood short story series, volume 38. And I entitled it "The Outcast Clique." So all I gotta do is publish it to my blog, and I was too tired last night, and I didn't even get to fall asleep until after 2:00 this morning. After 3:00 this morning. And then that devil worshiping tranny was heavily in one of my dreams, but I forgot what event happened. And then afterwards, had to use the bathroom, and then it took a while for me to fall back asleep, and I fell back asleep. And then I had this dream, and I think it was the mind control dream manipulation, that they had these dirty homeless white men who hijacked my hotel room. It was weird because in the dream I was because the online perps, I be trying to stay in the cheapest but decent hotel room or motel to stay in, to get out of bad weather. So as long as I can stay here, I don't have to really worry about hotels and motels and stuff. So, if I had a place to live, I don't have to worry about hotels or motels unless I became rich and was traveling or on vacation or something. But to live in hotels and motels or survival, I never in my life had to really do that until, I think one time I stayed overnight in a hotel once in like 2007. Hurricane Katrina don't count. But like in 2007, once in 2012, and like just for one night, like one or two nights, or like overnight. No, one night overnight, and then but it was 2018 when I had to start, when I dealt with chronic homelessness and had to stay in hotels and motels. I had to stay in hotels and motels, like in my hometown, New Orleans, there was just nothing but motels. That Century Inn Motel in Gretna that shut down. And that used to be $250 a week. And I never asked nobody online or never asked nobody, to help me stay there. I wish I would have known. I wasn't part of the TI community at that time. But it was 2019. People used to say, well, ask for donations and get a van to live in. Or, ask for donations and live off of donations. But it wasn't until my twin sister got in the picture that the perps had the false smear campaign about me being a scammer and liar. Now, when the fake TI perp told somebody yesterday that, oh, once Candy get her food stamps, she's still going to be begging for money because she's just a scammer. And then the person spelled scammer wrong. You spelled it wrong. You spell, like, you want to call people names and then spell it wrong. Like, well, if I were to get food stamps and I had over $100, then I wouldn't need to really, possibly, I may not need to have to ask for money for food. You want to know why? Because if I got the refrigerator, the mini refrigerator and a freezer where I could store leftovers and stretch my food. Homeless on the streets, you couldn't do that. So if I can take an $8 meal and stretch it for three or four meals, I can do that, putting leftovers in the fridge or the freezer. But so I mean, and if there were food pantries I could go to, I shouldn't have to really ask for money for food. But if I get food stamps and come to find, or if I get no food stamps at all, or if I get food stamps and they say the food stamp, would be $15 or even $45 or something, then yeah, I would have to be asking for help if I can't even get a job, because 2 caregiving jobs had rejected my application. 2 caregiving jobs gave me rejection letters from Indeed.com yesterday, and I forgot to mention that in my video yesterday. It was 2 caregiving jobs that rejected my application. And they said no experience necessary. So what am I supposed to do? Because you online perps don't want me alive. So for me to survive the best way I can, y'all call it scam, because my survival and existence is a threat to y'all, and y'all want me dead, and y'all know it. So they had a perp that's either connected with J Demon Rotten shit, or that was maybe one of her other accounts, that kept unsubscribing and resubscribing to my account. To this channel. So this Divo, D-I-V-O, whoever that is, following J Demon Rotten shit, who also falsely calls herself Mango Sugar. So you following her and you trying to follow me. And then I noticed on my Candy Grand Prix channel, I have you blocked. So then I'm like, yep, that's a perp that I had an issue with before. So as soon as you subscribe, I found you and blocked you so that you couldn't say any hurtful comments to me. So, but these perps be slandering their asses off and lying on us targets. So, I wouldn't even, as I said, I'm trying my best to survive the best way I could. And the fact that, me living and breathing is a scam to these gang stalkers who wish me dead. And they're just talking all that shit online, because if you knew me in person, if y'all were that radical and aggressive with wanting me dead, if you knew me in person, I don't even think you would kill me. But a lot of the time, the gang stalkers do be killing targeted individuals. Yeah, I had a video on this channel, I think, and I talked about the dark web plans to kill targeted individuals. That you on this kill list, New World Order kill list, extermination, human extermination. Excuse me. So if you gang stalkers are expendable puppets, y'all could be used up, washed up, and then thrown away and replaced, just like these satanic sellout celebrities. And people think that because a celebrity has fame and money, that they're blessed by God and good people. And like, if Jamie Foxx was a doggone devil worshiper, but then they make it like he's a true man of God. Like, shut your ass up. All because he's struggling in the hospital and sick, you saying all that fake shit. Shut up. Go somewhere. So anyway, so I mean, I'm trying to stretch the little bit of money that I have left. It's not much at all, but I'm trying to stretch the little bit that I have. I guess it's 2 more weeks. I think it's 2 or 2.5 more weeks. Now I'm stretching a little bit of money I have. And what I want to say was that bread, I try to open that 8 piece of bread that I had in the freezer from Friday. And I put some of the I didn't have breakfast, but I took some of the pulled pork and some of the cheese, the mozzarella cheese, and the bread was too tall and too big to fit in the toaster oven. And so a little bit of food got at the top. And so I'm like, man. So I had to go try to find a way to clean it off. Like, a little bit of cheese got at the top and got a little burnt. And so that kind of messed up a little bit, but so I had to try to figure out. I tried to smash the bread down, and the bread was kind of soggy and had a weird texture and everything. And so so when I found a way to get I put the meat and cheese on the side, and then try to let everything toast. And then after that, the moment I bit into the bread, I gagged so hard that, and I was traumatized by it, and I had almost violently puked, and all my insides were hurting for like a good 2 hours. And I'm like, damn, So I had to take and throw all that bread away because it was no good. It was really no good. It was expired and it was really no good. I felt really bad, but so if this food is bad, it's bad, So I couldn't eat it. So I took a tortilla and ate it on the side. From the meat and cheese, and I had took some of my bentonite clay to stay on the safe side in case I would have ended up with food poisoning or something, And so I took like a serving and a half of the clay. And so now my stomach, I'm feeling back to normal. But, that was like a traumatic moment. And like when the food got at the top, it was a little bit though. When it got at the top of the toaster oven, it had, started to smoke a little bit. But I'm glad I got that taken care of. I had to be extra careful, and I have to, every time I use an appliance, I have to keep just picking it up and transport it to one area of the house. I'm like, oh, this is frustrating. So, the microwave is the heaviest appliance out of all of them, but the microwave and the crock pot are kind of crock pot, not the base. I mean, not the part where you plug in that's very lightweight, but the stuff where you put the food, the part where you put the food in, that is so heavy and is kind of big, you know. So to me, that crock pot looked like it's enough for like 10 people. I thought it was gonna be real small. Like one time in Greenville, South Carolina, I think I got this crock pot for $5. It was a small one, a crock pot for $5 at the thrift store, and it didn't have a lid on it. Excuse me, but it used to cook food very well, you know, and I think that's why I think the turkey sausage and barley soup. I forgot what I put in it. Um, I think I may have had butternut squash in it, like turkey, barley, like ground turkey, or I think it was ground turkey, barley, and butternut squash or something like that. Oh, it was so good. Everybody went nuts. Even I did. Went nuts over it. So my time is, I mean, my storage space on my phone is kind of crowding up. What time is it? 1:17 p.m. So I have to use the bathroom really bad, and so I'm about to go for now. And you know, as I said, they turned me down for 2 job applications yesterday. That interview that I got the other day, I'll be surprised if they called me in. Like she said, I was supposed to hear this coming week. So, it would be a miracle if they called me in for that job interview. So, other than that, I'll see y'all in a while.